Much indeed for your time. What happened in court? What do we know about these two men?
Thank you very much. Stephen Pietra Steyn and Clive Melville actually appeared very briefly in the Brits Magistrates Court today. What we know is that one is 57 and the other one is 61. And the court actually postponed the matter so that their addresses can be verified so that they can appear again on a bail application.
We're talking about 157 rhino horn. I mean, just the place where you'd need to store that would be quite large. How did police come across this? How did they find these two men?
Well, apparently there was a tip-off from members of the public who actually tipped off the police, and then they launched sort of a sting operation, including law enforcement agencies like the Hawks, the police, and there was also Tracker, which was able to locate the vehicle the two gentlemen were traveling in. They were actually arrested at the RTBS Dam on Saturday evening.
And do we know if they were linked to any of the big international syndicates? We know these syndicates exist. Do we know if they're linked to those?
Well, from the markings, apparently there are unconfirmed reports that there were markings on these rhino horn. And from the markings, it sort of depicts that these were rhino horn that was coming from stockpiles. As you know, that there was an electronic database that was established in South Africa back in 2017 of all the stockpiles of rhino horn. And basically during that same year, after a court process, it was allowed for the trading in these stockpiles. And after the period lapsed, it went back to being illegal to trade in these. You'd actually have to have a permit to trade in them. So it is expected that these guys were actually transporting and trading in stockpiles illegally without the permits.
So does that mean then that the horn that were discovered, the 157 horn, weren't actually taken from rhinos that were poached in the last few years? There aren't 157 rhino who were killed for these horns. These might have come from an earlier stockpile.
Yes, but these are still unconfirmed reports. But as things are, you know, rhinos, most stockpiles are actually marked, and there is weight in terms of the markings and the likes. So based on the markings, it sort of shows that these are actually from stockpiles. There weren't any rhinos that were killed recently and the horns taken to be shipped to the Southern Asian countries.
And what kind of investigation is underway now? I imagine someone's going to try and establish all sorts of links.
Yes, absolutely. Investigations are actually underway to sort of establish if maybe there is some sort of a syndicate operating. I mean, 157, it's actually a lot of horns.
Ofentse Setimo, thank you very much indeed. Our SABC reporter who spent his day in the Magistrates Court in Brits with the latest on that line.